Hello, little hams. It is I, Ari Babel, your queen of ham and lover of spam. And today's Tales from the Glade is brought to you by the Shoes for Trolls Foundation. The Shoes for Trolls Foundation believes that each troll deserves a pair of shoes. And you can support the cause by going to Comrade Bubbles, either on YouTube or twitch.tv, Comrade Bubbles, to help support the cause. Anyway, yes, so this story today is a tale of two troll brothers. But before we go into it, yes, the Shoes for Trolls Foundation wants me to remind you all that trolls do not live under bridges anymore. Then they haven't since the Dark Ages. Please do not perpetuate this harmful stereotype. Trolls are people. They have feelings. They may act out on those feelings in bad ways, but they are, they are beings with feelings. And do not perpetuate the harmful stereotype that trolls live under bridges. They live everywhere, like you and I. Anyway, so yes, a tale of two brothers, Todd and Bill. Todd is an architect. He builds bridges. And he built this amazing bridge 16 years ago. It was the immersive bridge experience. Everybody was super into it. It was a huge success, and it was voted Bridge of the Year. And since then, he just keeps reselling this bridge to new buyers. After everybody was like, oh my god, Todd, he built this bridge, right? And they're like, we want another bridge, Todd, we want another bridge. And he goes, well, what about if I give you the same bridge, but we just add this to it? Like, we change the tile color, or we just add another, another inch or so to it, And the first time it was like, oh, okay, sure. It has all of the extra add-ons from the other bridge just built into one, right? And then the second time was like, okay, it's a bridge in a different territory, so these people get to walk over the bridge, okay. But after the third time, it was like, seriously, Todd? Seriously? This is what you're doing? Seriously? Over time, Todd had come to rely on the community around the bridges to keep them fresh. Because at the end of the day, people do love this bridge, and they love their classic bridges, and, they'll do anything to make it more interesting. So they've thought of ways to upscale the bridge, add things that they would have initially liked that weren't part of the bridge originally, and, the community did this for free. Well, about 10 years after the original bridge, Todd announced a new bridge with a teaser image, like, this is the sketch of my new bridge, right? And everybody goes crazy. But that's all they got. And 4 years later, people are asking Todd for this new bridge, And he goes, well, I'm not going to give you that bridge, but I'm going to give you an escalator, and an immersive new escalator, new and exciting. But everybody just really wants this bridge, right? But okay, so they give it a try. But the immersive escalator wasn't super immersive. It was just kind of boring. And he said, Todd, at this criticism, he said, well, duh, escalators are meant to be boring. And people were not happy. It's now 6 years since the teaser of the new bridge, and we have still not gotten it. And Bill finally, who's always inundated from people all over asking him, Todd, what is Todd doing? Tell Todd this, tell Todd that. And Bill just can't, right? So Bill finally confronts Todd, and he's like, hey, dude, what's going on? Like, why are you? And Todd is like, just wait, it's gonna be great, all these things, all the things that he tells other people. But now he's spewing this BS to his brother. And so his brother says, Bill looks him in the eye, and he says, I think you're just too scared to make another bridge, because the last bridge you made was just so great. And waiting another 10 years after 16 years of anticipation isn't going to make it any better. It won't fix that you're scared. It won't fix the anticipation. It won't fix that people want what they want. Cuckoo. Sorry about that. And, Todd freaked out. And Bill's parents, were just like, why aren't you supporting your brother? They kicked Bill out. So Bill moves to the old side of town. And he decides, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living in the shadow of Todd. I'm going to just do my own thing. And so he moves to where, this old town square was. And, it's kind of decrepit. There's a couple of old buildings around, but the Old Town Square building and the plot itself are actually in still good repair. So he fixes it up, he builds himself a place to live, and, he just makes this Old Town Square, he makes it new again. And he builds this farmer market where he connects with the community, and farmers can sell their crops and goods, and it's a huge hit. But the problem is that the bridge that leads to the Old Town Square, it needs repairs. He has to ask Todd for help. First, Todd doesn't want to help him. He's all mad at his brother. But eventually, he comes around when Bill says, it's an old bridge. Just embrace the classics and just help me repair this old bridge. So he does. Todd does. He embraces the classics. He remembers what made his old bridge so good. But he also realizes in this moment that the thing that scared him the most was the old engineering, the old way of engineering. So he needs to develop a new way of engineering. And he does. And he also gives credit to his awesome community who helped him develop, not just this new engineering style. He also, by their keeping the old one alive for so long, it helps him come up with this something new. And granted, this repairing of the old bridge, it isn't the new immersive experience that everybody wants, but it gave him the motivation to stop being a coward and start working harder on the new bridge with this new way of engineering and tapping into the community and everything that made the old bridge so good. And he did so good, and the brothers mended fences, so much so that they ended up building a second house for Todd, and now he lives next to Bill. And here we are now touring the area. This is the sign that's like Old Town Square. Todd's house is the little red one, and that is Bill's house right there with the white. They have a little garden between the two of them, because you know me, I love my gardens. The bridge being repaired, you could see the woodwork as the new repair. And then over here on the side, you see this some carriages are parked, and this is the actual market with stalls. And inside is just a place, when it's raining, they can have the market in there. There's also, places for them to freshen up if they need to. And just around in the area, they didn't knock down the old structures, but they were quite old. And literally, they were down to just their foundations. So, they kept them there. They keep them clean and pretty. And sometimes people just like to walk around where the old structures are. And you know what? That really works out, because when people are walking around and they see what's going on, then all of a sudden they're like, ooh, what's going on at the Old Town Square? What's going on at the market? And you know what? It's a great way for people to come and spend some money. Maybe they weren't planning on spending the money, but okay, now we have to pet the sheep, who I've lovingly named Sean. We have Sean, Shirley, and Timmy are the 3 sheep. Pet the duck because of course. And here we are taking the tour at night. It's very pretty at night. Again, the sign, the houses, and the Old Town Square lit up at night. I'd imagine they have a night market. And maybe it's not like the fish vendor, obviously, who's probably not there at night, right? But, I'd imagine that maybe they have a night market where it's more cooked foods as opposed to just fresh goods. I imagine the fishmongers, if they don't sell all their fish, they cook up the fish, and then at the night market, they serve them. I mean, it's a great little enterprise that Bill made. And I'm happy that he and Todd were able to reconcile, and I'm glad that, Todd found the inspiration to work on his new bridge experience here. Because that's what it takes sometimes, is reconciliation and going back to the basics, what made you great in the first place. Oh, gotta pet the sheep, as one does. Taking a little swim, petting ducks. Ooh, we pet 2 ducks there. Beautiful views of the moon over the Old Town Square at night. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time with another tale from the Glade. Alrighty. Bye now, friends.